subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell. So you are notified when new videos drop. And I have to tell you, we live in freaking fascinating times. That's a dangerous statement to make, because I'm recording this, what day is it? Tuesday. Right? Recording this on Tuesday, February 22nd. I'm really ahead of the game, okay? I tell you, ever since I've had this bit of a attack of mental health, which I've been talking about a lot, my productivity has gone through the roof. I've lost weight as well without like dieting. I've been eating badly. Normally I try and eat quite well. I'm not overly healthy. Okay, I'm not. So I do, especially when you get old. You have to. You just can't eat what you want, right? But like after having this big psychological, rebirth, which I experienced a couple of weeks ago, I figured, maybe I should baby myself a little bit, take things a bit easy. And I've lost weight. It's the craziest thing. It's absolutely craziest thing. But my productivity has been through the roof. So I'm recording this on Tuesday. This video is going to go out on Friday, right? I've never been this far ahead of the game. However, it does represent quite a bit of danger, because I don't know what the world's going to be like on Friday. I genuinely don't know what the world's going to be like on Friday. It might be exactly like it's like on Tuesday, and hopefully it will, right? I have a normalcy bias. I'm hoping it's going to be, but who knows? I just think in the next 6 weeks, we're gonna see things get crazy. Okay, I like the whole Ukraine thing is crazy. Canada's crazy. It's all crazy, right? It's all crazy. I'm quite happy retreating to my little safe space, my little happy place in fandom, which is really why we're here. Really, why we have all these YouTube channels, and why am I making all these videos bitching about Doctor Who and stuff like that, because that's our happy place, right? And we so need a happy place right now in the world, which is, again, very, very strange. But, I think you've got to look on it's always good to look on the bright side. We live in freaking fascinating times, absolutely fascinating times. And we do see it from our little niche in fandom. So what's going on right now is, I think, the Great Awakening. Right, the Great Awakening that, oh my gosh, maybe we done something a bit stupid, and people are trying to grapple with that. So I got 2 articles here. They're both reasonably long. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to both of them. Listen, I'm recording this at 5 to 12 in the morning. I normally walk the dog at 12:30. I'm never going to make that, right? I'm never going to be finished in 35 minutes. I hope so. But yeah, if I am, that's awesome, right? But I hope to get to both these articles, because they're basically saying the same thing. You saw the thumbnail. They saw the devastation wrought over the last few years on these franchises that we like, and they went, oh. Oh dear. which is what we're going to be looking at. Before we get into it, assuming Western civilization is still standing by the time this video goes live, can you hit the like button? Actually, you know what the hell, even if Western civilization is not still standing, but we still have some Google servers still up online, hit the like button, hit the share button. Oh, if you're on Rumble, maybe Rumble will survive. If you're on Rumble, hit the Rumble button. It's a like button. It's really unimpressive. Hit the Rumble button. Like, share, subscribe. Oh man, that's so great. I love being liked, shared, and subscribed. I should really keep that to myself. But no, I really do like being liked, shared, and subscribed. Comment, let me know what you think. Even if it's just say, see, the world is still the same. Yay! We survived 3 days. I'm quite happy to get that. Like, share, subscribe, comment. The algorithm loves comments. Oh my God. Nothing turns on the algorithm like a good comment, right? So they like a good comment, or even any comment whatsoever. And finally, sign up to my Substack. My Substack is an email newsletter where I let you know about all the content I put out. And I put out a lot of content. I just do. I'm a bit content crazy. I put out comic books on it as well. My comic books, classic comic books. Again, my productivity is through the roof. I'm expecting to have a lot more stuff going out of it now. I'm really kind of chuffed about all that. So if you can sign up for that as well. And if the apocalypse is happening, now I can't guarantee this, but I'll put my personal blessing on anybody who joins the paid one. Okay, you got to pay for that, right? You get, sod it. Everybody gets my blessing. They survive the apocalypse. But if you join the paid one, you get my super blessing. What difference does that make? I don't know. I don't know. I just want you to pay for it, okay? I'm just trying to say stuff to make you pay for it, okay? But I do mean it as well. I'm not lying, okay? I don't know how effective. If the apocalypse isn't coming, maybe you want to plan for the future. Okay, so that's the pitch. That's the pitch, right? Like, share, subscribe, comment, Substack, all those things. Fat Daddy, double dozy. Let's have a look at this this article. The BBC was right not to cancel Doctor Who. Well, yes, we understand that, because Rusty Davies is coming back, and that's the only reason they are right not to cancel it. Listen, I've always been of the opinion that all these things can come back, right? Can, despite its problems. And that, by the way, this is something really important. Look at the author of this article, Thomas Bacon. Now, Bacon, not so kosher, but boy, what a breakfast meat. Okay. Also, this guy has been like one of the #1 cheerleaders of the current era of Doctor Who and the current era of everything. Because not because it was good, not because it was good, because it like matched the worldview he wanted to be real, right? And now they're able to say, despite its problems, look, they see the first step of any 12-step program. And may I say, as a crazily religious person, I think I'll go far as say most. The majority of advantages one can get from organized religion, you can get from a 12-step program too. These 12-step programs are very good, are very, very good. Honestly, that's why I like Nerdrotic. I mean, if you want to see how great 12-step programs are, look at the human being that Nerdrotic has made himself into because of those 12-step programs. But the first step of them is admitting you have a bloody problem, right? Admitting a problem, despite its problems, right? That's in the headline. So this is really good news, okay? It's that they can say it, that they can articulate it, that they can print it, means I think it's nearly over, right? And maybe I'm just a crazy optimist. Maybe, well, man, no, I am, okay? I am both a crazy and an optimist, right? Maybe I'm just a crazy optimist, but maybe I'm right too, okay? Look at it that way. It can't all be awful all the time, right? Sometimes things have got to be good. Doctor Who executive producer Matt Stevens. And Matt Stevens has become the mouthpiece for Doctor Who this week. And oh, God bless you, Matt Stevens. So much gold comes out of one stupid mouth. Wonderful, wonderful. I loved it. Loved every minute. As hinted, the show was nearly cancelled, but the BBC made the right call renewing Doctor Who. They didn't renew it. Somebody bought it off them, and they're saying, we can't trust you with it anymore. Rusty Davies was like, you don't get, no! BBC, you don't get a bloody look in. And they're basically the UK distributor for it right now, from what I understand. So, you know, it belongs to Sony. And given that we all love Spider-Man No Way Home, when is that out on download or Blu-ray or something? I want to see that again. Given that we all love Spider-Man No Way Home and Sony seems to really like money, and oh God, you know, I'm a bit of a liberal, right? I've never been that into like the virtues of capitalism, but God, am I happy to see that again. Yeah, somebody liking money. Oh, why am I happy to see it again? Because it means they may want to do things to make money rather than make a bloody statement. Yeah, good news. That has hit us. But the BBC made the right call renewing it. Again, okay, that you admitted that you had a problem. That's good so far, right? You admitted you had a problem. The BBC was right not to cancel Doctor Who, despite its many problems, the many problems of its current era. Where were you? Where were you for the last 2 years, mate? I mean, really? Anybody who said there was any problem in the current era was an icky wicky racist, right? No, or bigot, or I don't even know what stupidity, what utter stupidity you're babbling about. But okay, whatever. Jodie Whittaker's imminent departure. Oh God, not imminent enough. Still 2 more episodes, and again, nothing says at the BBC than the absolute failure of Doctor Who, and they said, oh yeah, do you want to do one more? Do you want to do that, like 1 or 2 more? Okay, I guess. I would love to know how that decision happened, right? I would love to know how. I mean, I do get the feeling they had an 8-episode order, and they had like Flux 6 episodes, New Year's, Xmas episode, and final episode, and they gave him an extra one, calling it for centenary, which is probably Legend of the Sea Devil, which is probably why it's going to be somewhat standalone. I would imagine, right? I would imagine. By the way, did I say this the other day? I can't remember. Somebody sent me a rumor that they had to reshoot a lot of the first episode of Flux because Chris Chibnall sent in a new draft after they shot like 90% of it. Okay. I would love to know the inside story of what really happened. Wouldn't you love to know what really... Okay, you have a choice. You could know what really happened within the Chris Chibnall era of Doctor Who, or you could know what really happened with the assassination of JFK. What are you more interested in? Yeah, it's the Chris Chibnall era of Doctor Who. I'm more interested in that too. I agree with you completely. Imminent departure from Doctor Who was something of an open secret for months before it was officially announced. Yes, because they didn't know what to do, right? Because it was over. Nobody would take it up. Nobody would touch it. It was a poison chalice. The surprising news, though, was the revelation that the current showrunner Chris Chibnall would depart alongside the star. I mean, it was surprising in that logic and reason seemed to have some kind of sway over reality, right? So that was surprising. You know, we haven't seen that so much of late. But yeah, logic and reason has some kind of sway over reality. Good for them. And so that's why Chris Chibnall left. I mean, okay, the face and the engine behind the utter failure of Doctor Who both left. I am so shocked that Russell Davies came back, and I really firmly believe if he didn't, there would be no new announcement for Doctor Who. The rumor was it was going to be rested for a number of years, right, till people forgot how awful it was. Unless they could attach somebody who actually might be able to produce something that doesn't want to make people vomit in their own mouth. The surprising news, though, was that Revelation Chibnall would leaving as well. It seems that Chibnall and Whittaker was something of a package deal, both signed up for the same period. You said there was a 5-year plan. Now they go, oh, we did a 3-and-out pack. No, you didn't. Okay, you were lying somewhere. You were lying there or you're lying here. Which one was it? I think, you intended it to be for 5. I really do. I don't think you intended it to be this much of a crushing failure. Right? Like, did you intend it to be so bad? Did you really intend that to happen? I don't think. However, I mean, they intended to do everything they did. They just didn't have, the minimal brain power to tell them that this would not work out well. Apparently, with half the BBC screaming at them, "What are you doing?" when they saw the Timeless Charm. Okay. And you know what? I am really kind of sure that Time Lord Victorious, the failure of it, which I think it did fail because it wasn't done very well, was more because to test out how much Doctor Who had been damaged. The franchise had been damaged. So they did a Jodie Liss transmedia event, and it fell flat on its face, didn't it? Yeah, so I think the die was pretty much cast at that point, don't you? And I really think that's what was behind Time Lord Victorious. Also, the licensees bitching like hell, saying, "What the hell? We can't sell anything." Which again, I'm not so opposed to capitalism, but I do like a bit of social safety net. But again, I'm happy for the capitalism coming in and like trying to bring order to this absolute chaos. It was only about a deal. However, Doctor Who may have come a lot closer to being cancelled after the end of Whittaker and Chibnall than anybody realised. Not me, mate. Not me. Go look back at my channel. That's one of the reasons I put so much stuff out on this channel. So I can always point back and go, oh, look, I said that. Here's the conjuring trick behind that, though. I say a lot of crap. Okay, I say a lot of crap. I only point to the stuff that came right. I feel like Mr. Scott, how he always multiplies his repair estimations by a factor of 3. Mr. Scott, you always multiply the repair estimates by a factor of 3. I think I just quoted Star Trek. I don't even know where that's from. Star Trek 3, maybe. Aye, Captain, how else will I have a reputation as a miracle worker? Same sort of thing. It's a conjuring trick. Speaking at Gallifrey 1 convention, and please, Matt, don't ever stop speaking. It's so great. Thank you for all of this. Executive producer Matt Stevens. But that's my English name. Matthew. Funny story. My when Jews are 7 days old. 8 days old. Well, I can't believe I just got that detail wrong. When Jews are young, we do a circumcision, a ritual circumcision where the Jews are given names, their names. So my English name's Matthew, and so the Hebrew version of that is Matisyahu, right? So my grandfather goes up to my father, at the Brit Milah, and I think, look, could you name him after my father, Tzvi? And my dad's like, sure, he's never going to use it anyway. What's the difference? God, I just love stories like that, okay? They take all stories of things going exactly the opposite of how anybody thinks. They always make me laugh, right? They always make me smile. They always make me laugh. Generally speaking. I mean, other than Doctor Who. That didn't make me laugh. It going not the way I expected it to be. Because, I can never expect it to be as bad as it is. And every time, you should go look at my channel before season 12 started. About a week before it came out, I put out a video that said, I'm ready for Doctor Who to break my heart again. That was the title of the video. And I really was. I had hope. I was optimistic. I just didn't expect it to be as bad as you could possibly imagine it would be. Executive producer Matt Stevens revealed that he didn't know whether Doctor Who will be renewed after season 13 and this year's specials. The BBC ultimately chose to bring Rusty Davies on board as Chibble's replacement. No! That is not what happened. From what I can tell, Rusty Davies, Julie Gardner, and Jane Tranter mounted what essentially could be described as a hostile takeover. Right, and they made that deal with Sony, and they all making a lot of money. I wouldn't be in the least bit surprised, at all, if Tim Divvy also didn't get involved in that deal somehow. Right, I wouldn't be amazed. But I chose to bring again fantasy. Reaching co-production deal with Bad Wolf. No, it's not a co-production. Bad Wolf have complete creative control, right? Complete creative control. That has the potential of allowing the series to compete in the age of Disney Plus. That's true. Well, you see, again, I think that's Jane Tranter, right? My money is on that being Jane Tranter being very smart and good at her job. Because I just think that was the buzz line. That was the tag word that really sold this deal, right? So I'm putting my money on it being Jane Tranter. She was only found out a day before it was officially announced. Now listen. What more of a diss could that be to the current production team? Like what? How much more of a slap in the face? They didn't even tell you. Right? They didn't even tell you. Which makes me think there is no connective tissue between Russell T Davies as Doctor Who and the current one. Now, I'm not sure how apparent that will be because I've never seen Russell T Davies be anything other than professional and gracious to other people working in the industry. The thing I always cite, I really like, I'm going to watch that again at some point. Just before Doctor Who came back in 2005, you had a program on that day with Rusty Davies going through the history of Doctor Who, and he was speaking with such enthusiasm about every era, including the crap eras, including Colin Baker, which is kind of why I'm really excited for, Mind of Hodiak that's coming out next month. Again, assuming Western Civilization is still standing. I hope it is, because I already paid for it. Streamers only. Wouldn't it be funny if it's not? Okay, if it just starts going off as this video comes out. Now that would be impressive, right? That would be impressive, and I might point to that and go, "Oh, look at that! I got that right." But yeah, listen. I obviously this is the way to go. This is the way, right? To make a Doctor Who universe seems to be what they want to do. Honestly, I do not know why Apple hasn't bought CBS or Paramount. Frankly, I mean, it's like they can find the change down the back of their couch for what was it for Apple Plus? I mean, again, if they had all of Star Trek on that platform, all documentaries, and they were making good Star Trek, as Apple's TV seems to at least want to make stuff of quality, right? Which you can't accuse Alex Kurtzman's Star Trek of being at all. But that would be something that will make everybody want to buy. Not everybody, all the geeks would buy Apple Plus. Same with Doctor Who. Imagine having a Doctor Who channel. That's incredibly valuable. Right, incredibly valuable, and I just hope they're doing animation. I'm excited for all the stuff they're going to be doing, right? And I've said this again on many videos. That's what I'm most excited about right now. For all the innovations that they're going to have. Oh my god, I'm 20 minutes in. I'm like one paragraph in. We're not getting to the second article, okay? That's just not happening. That is just not happening. I'm now. The thumbnail did say. So what was it like? The headline. Media wakes up from the current year insanity and sees the devastated remains of Star Trek and Doctor Who. I'll get told you because the other article is about Star Trek, saying exactly the same thing about Star Trek, essentially. But I guess I'll take out Star Trek from the thumbnail. Okay, yeah, this is editing in process. You see how it happens. I love it. Straight out the day before it was fishing out. My utter relief was we didn't break it. Yes, you did break it. Yes, you did. And Jodie gets to regenerate. Does she? Does she? I can't. How are we going to see who they're regenerating into? The rumor, by the way, is they're filming, which it doesn't seem right to me, but they're filming for Rusty Davis in April. Again, that doesn't seem likely, right? That doesn't seem likely. But why? For a transmission in November 2023? It makes more sense they're going to be recording him April next year, right? That I could believe. Yeah, good. Again, if they ended with no new Doctor Who being announced and Jodie not regenerating, they would have just pretended it was a stunning and brave success. That's all that would have happened, right? That's the only thing that would have happened from the outside. They wouldn't go, "Oh no, we did terribly." No, they would have gone, "No, it's just the television landscape. It's just Doctor Who has its no, don't do it with us." That's exactly what it would have been. He concluded. Streamers was reportedly quite self-deprecating. Well, listen, not quite as deprecating as I might have been. And also there was stories, people are posting on Twitter that there shouldn't be unvetted questions allowed because it makes people feel uncomfortable. I tell you, the just taking Canada as an example, Justin Trudeau's Canada, the ultra-liberal social justice warrior type mindset, which I think we could say Justin Trudeau probably is in. And also this guy says, "Oh no, they should allow unfettered questions." Man, like how do you end up while screaming about people being on the wrong side of history? How do you end up being so incredibly far on the wrong side of history? I mean, look around. You're surrounded by Pol Pot, and then not very nice people, generally speaking. You might be on the wrong side. But how do you all scream about being on the wrong side of history and all be on the wrong side of history? It's quite impressive, right? It's quite an impressive level of lack of self-awareness. He was reported quite self-deprecating, I guess. We can't disagree. And it's possible his fears and concerns were a little exaggerated. No! It's probable that they weren't. For all that's the case, though, it's worth noting that this isn't the first time BBC considered cancelling Doctor Who at a major transition point. I haven't read this article. They're going to talk about cancelling after David Tennant and Rusty Davis left. Yes. Right, because the same morons that were running the BBC then, who couldn't see beyond David Tennant and Rusty Davis, right? The same morons are the same morons that wanted Chris Chibnall to do everything that Chris Chibnall did. Yes, amazingly, somebody who was a moron remained a moron. Have you never heard of inertia? That's essentially what's going to happen. They almost cast it at the end of David Tennant era, but Rusty Davies persuaded them to pass it on to Stephen Moffat. Yeah, pass it on to this huge creative talent with massive successes under his belt. Yeah, you do that. Who took over showrun for both Matt Smith and Capaldi eras, comprising of 6 full seasons and specials. That means Streeter's comments couldn't be dismissed out of hand. Well, why would they be dismissed out of hand unless you're bonkers, mate, right? Like, why do you think he's lying about being worried about failing? Most people keep that to themselves, right? I was worried it was going to be a massive failure. People don't normally say that if things turn out to be a massive failure. You know, again, the Biden administration did not say in the wake of Afghanistan, oh, we were worried that was going to work out badly. No, they just said it was a stunning, brave, and the bestest thing ever. That's what they do when they screw up. And again, I'm sorry to have all these political analogies, but they are like, you know, kind of like the most obvious things to pick at, aren't they? Should be dismissed out of it, but rather should be taken as an indication people involved with the show really did fear its future was in doubt. Yeah, no, they feared its future was in doubt because its future was in doubt. This wasn't like, you know, any crazy delusion. This actually happened. Why the BBC considered cancelling Doctor Who? Well, we're looking at the reason right there. I mean, look at these two clueless Karens, like looking like they're about to snog each other. I mean, for God's sake, what about this? Says Doctor Who, right? What about it? I mean, they've even replicated the really, really crappy set design for Invasion of Time. Not the best Gallifrey story in the world. I mean, in their TARDIS. I don't get it. Yeah, oh no, let's do lots about unrequited lesbian romances. That's what people want in Doctor Who. No! Nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted it apart from people like Matt Stevens and the other 7 people who read The Guardian. Those people. The first problem is that the Chibnall era has hardly been an unqualified success. You said it was the bestest ever, mate. I hate to remind you of reality, but you said it was the bestest ever, and it was the bestest ever. The first problem is that the Chibnall era has only been unqualified. You fail, and that's the thing these people hate more than anything else: failure and being associated with failure. And yes, you are all associated very closely with failure right now. Production values have improved massively. No, and no. In fact, you go back to 2005, episode 2, The End of the World, and you play that. I mean, it'll be upscaled, obviously, on a big screen TV. It looks better than most of the Jodie era. I'm sorry, it's just the reality. Especially those effect shots with Eccleston and Billy Piper looking at the destroyed remains of Earth as it like floated behind them. Those shots were just beautiful, and also the space station. I love that episode. In fact, yeah, now I'm remembering how I even like Toxic. You know, the soundtrack Toxic. Well, that was so great, right? And it was so contemporary art, man. Have I ever mentioned this? I'm kind of excited about Rusty Davies coming back. God, I hope it doesn't suck. Okay, I really hope it doesn't suck. Have improved massively, but writing has come under heavy criticism. Really? Because anybody criticised that, I remember you calling them a bigot, right? So, not quite as heavy as it should have been. The third acts are often dependent on poorly signposted twists. Well, yes, that is a sign you're watching a Chibnall play. Was a Chibnall script. I don't understand why didn't bring in somebody who could write. Like Paul Cornell really is on the same page as him in terms of this insane worldview of black people and women are oppressed underclasses in the Western world. Really? Has anybody ever met anybody who feels that way? Really? Because I don't think you have. I think you're fibbing if you say you have. Jodie Whittaker's 13th Doctor has often been criticised for a lack of agency. Well, yeah. She's a clueless Karen? Yes, and again, that's how she was written, and that's how she chose to play it, right? And she just, she thought it was good. While dependent on static info dumps meant episodes lost all sense of narrative and momentum. Do you remember the one where they had, you probably don't because you probably stopped watching it, but then, do you remember the one where they stopped and had an animated exposition for like 3 or 4 minutes? Like what part of them like said, oh, that's a good idea. Oh yeah, everyone's gonna love that. It's kind of like, okay, I don't understand. And listen, if you've got a script and it needs an animated exposition, your script might not be very good. Okay, that's what you might need to like just just need to like take a deep breath and accept. Your script might not be very good. Jodie Whittaker's 13th Doctor has ordering greater lack of agency, while dependence on static infidels meant loss of momentum. Meanwhile, Chibnall has instituted complex records. They are complex, and when you go through them, they're such crap, and they're so full of potholes. Unbelievable. How unbelievable is it? He's done it time and time and time again, and I'm still going, what? Like every new one, I'm like, what? How? And sometimes rather ill-fitting. You loved all of it, and you called everybody a bigot who didn't get along with it. His time-style retcon changed everything and nothing, mattering only to people who cared about Doctor Who lore. Man, that is true, right? It changed everything, but nothing's changed. It's all that. Well, then why do it? What had changed is you made the Doctor less white and male, and just admitting stuff pushes you. It is so good for you, right? It's a good thing to do. But initially lacking a character impact because the episode at the heart of it actually tried to reassure viewers it really didn't really matter. And also, it was boring pap. I'm sorry. I mean, like, you saw, like, again, you probably didn't. I mean, if you saw my recap and review, that's as close as you need to really get of Flux, right? When you saw, like, the hidden history of the Doctor, it was boring, bog standard, current day, so forgettable sci-fi that nobody likes. Apart from ASM. Matt Streven and his 7 friends who read The Guardian, who all said, oh, Matt, you're so stunning and so brave. So stunning, so brave. Doctor Who fans have clearly felt uncertain about the show's future, and there's been intense debate online about the ratings. Well, it's not really a debate, it's been an utter failure. In the debate, it's been like, oh, look, these ratings are terrible, and then the crazies who love the agenda that they said didn't exist for this era go, no, ratings don't matter! Ratings don't matter! Ratings don't matter! I think it mattered to you. Okay? I think it mattered, right? I'm pretty sure the ratings mattered. And I think it got... I think one thing that really broke them was when Doctor Who magazine last month revealed the live ratings, which were way worse than anybody knew about. Way worse. Poor Tom Spilsbury let the cat out of the bag. But it's like Matt Strever's let the cat out of the bag. It was nearly cancelled. Doctor Who fans are clearly ratings and have been in decline for quite some time since 2017, and that's when the sharp decline happened. There's been a mild decline during the Capaldi years. Maybe bouncing it around all through the summer schedules wasn't the best of ideas for it. Maybe it had like a nice cushy slot on Sunday, even though I don't like the Sunday slot for it. A nice cushy slot on Sunday. Would have, the ratings, static one, the ratings might have done a little bit better. Wait. I think the Doctor Who magazine, and they got the second part of the interviews coming out in a week or so. Oh boy! More gold from Stevens. Stevens insisted ratings are quite as bad as they look. No, they are way worse, because you lied. You lied, and I don't know if you're lying to yourself or lying to the person who wrote this, right? But you lied, right? What fascinates me is the way Doctor Who viewing figures are obsessed over, unlike many other TV shows. Yes, because you find that there is a 60-year-old fandom based around Doctor Who, people who find it very, very, very important, right? Where you don't normally get that around blankety bloody blank. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, you are held under a little bit of a microscope working on something that is so intensely beloved by so many people, which is something that you were excited to do until you screwed up royally, and then you go, what's that? Why are you looking at me? Because you screwed up, mate. That's why. What's fascinating other shows he observed? Of course, you get the odd juggernaut like 2021's visual, but by and large, 5 odd million is really healthy for drama. Any drama on terrestrial? Yes, that's true. Since you destroyed all drama on terrestrial, that's true. Yeah, my contention remained. If you take the Big Finish 4-part miniseries box set, Donna Noble Kidnapped, and just film it, right? And put it on TV, it will get 8-9 million. You know what? I think if you take Survival, Sylvester McCoy's Survival, right, which is a very contemporary drama, recut it into a movie-length episode, give it new effects, new opening titles, new music, and really make it look like a contemporary bit of TV, that'll get 8-9 million as well. It's just good TV, right? Good TV gets ratings because it's good. Now, Doctor Who might not. The Survival might not, because Doctor Who's been awful, and it's in the show that everybody's been reminded that they hate. But I am really convinced that just like as soon as we saw Mandalorian, that first season of Mandalorian, and second season for that matter, we went, oh, Star Wars. Oh, it's so good. We love it so much. I am convinced that if we get a Doctor Who that we actually like, that people actually like, it will all be over, like, instantly. And that's what I think. I think by the time we get to 2023, I think by the time we get to November 2022, and after their final episodes are aired, it will be forgotten forever. It is gone, beyond gone, beyond gone. And we're just going to be like, Rusty Davis is going to be screaming about all the fun stuff that he's looking forward to doing. And on any stream service, they can only dream of figures like that. Okay, so I think our ratings are really respectable. I know you think that. You might be a little bit biased, right? Your ratings would have been really respectable if you hadn't lost. Well, firstly, if you weren't lying about them. Set of 5 million odd. No, you're in the 4 millions. That's that, and that's with your 7-day ratings, right? They are abysmal beyond abysmal. If you were lucky, but the overnights, they were about 3, all right, 3 point something, and that's on your special episodes. The Eve of the Daleks, the New Year's special, right? Yeah, and then the live ratings, which is the one that we were always comparing to the lower ratings in the McCoy era, are way lower than the lower ratings in the McCoy era, right? So sorry about that. For all Stephen's defense, though, the increased production costs required to make Doctor Who competitive mean those ratings feel particularly uncomfortable. Man, this guy has woken up. This guy has been red-pilled big time. The divided reaction to the Chibnall era and the poor ratings certainly justify the concerns at the BBC. They lost Doctor Who, right? That was they actually, it happened. It doesn't belong to them anymore, for good bloody reason. Somebody should take EastEnders off their hands as well. But would anybody? I wonder, will people go back to watching EastEnders again? I think you'll just have to completely reboot it and say to the public, listen, we understand that 70% of the population aren't trans lesbians. We understand that, and we're going to be trying to be a little bit more reflective of reality. If trans lesbians are very upset by this and they threaten to kill themselves, I'm sorry. Maybe don't be a drama queen. If they said that, I think maybe people will go back to watching EastEnders. But there have been consistent reports that a bigger problem was the BBC didn't quite know what to do next. Yes. Okay. The analogy is this: you're an elderly person. You're in the supermarket and you defecate all over yourself, right? Actually, no. I'll give you a much more real example, much more real personal example. Okay. I did not know I was ill. I was mentally ill, and I really don't have any problem saying it because I think it's a lot more common than we talk about, and it's 2022, and it's really, there's not, I don't feel any stigma about it, but the way I was looking at things, well, I wasn't delusional, right? It wasn't a delusional thing. It was I saw something, but it got distorted and magnified out of all reality and proportion, right? And I was genuinely sick, right? Genuinely sick. And then when it went, again, if you want to know how, I'm going to talk about my live stream on Tuesday night when it went away, which was a really freaking story, and it happened really quickly. My first reaction is like, because I'd done all this stuff that pissed all these people off. Thankfully, everybody's so nice. Oh my God. Everybody was so nice about it. But I'd done all this stuff that pissed so many people off. And I was like, I realized that and I go, oh crap. What do I do now? I think the BBC were in roughly the same position, right? Roughly the same position. It also worked in the example of defecating all over yourself in the supermarket. What do you do next? I don't know. I've never been in that situation. Didn't know quite what's next, and struggled with to hire a new showrunner with a vision for your future Doctor Who that would touch it after it became radioactive slag, right? Modern Doctor Who is very much showrunner led. Well, one thing Jim wanted to do was make a writer's room. How'd that work out? With Russell T Davies and Stephen Moffat, and currently Chris Chibnall, each giving eras a distinctive shape and voice. So unfortunately, the distinctive shape and voice is one that nobody wants to see or hear to this era. Unfortunately, nobody seemed willing to take over, as Chibnall himself observed in the press conference, because you turned it into radioactive waste. I've been throwing batters at people for about a year now. I've been asking to take over here now, and they're all like, no, mate, leave me alone. Don't know you. Go away. Go, yeah. Fortunately, somebody did pick up the baton in the end and didn't bother to tell him, right? Didn't bother to tell them. Freaking insane. The BBC returned to Russell T Davies, whose vision seemed to be greater than before, right? Oh, no, they're still going on. Blimey, this is a long one. Okay. I thought this was the beginning of, that was the link to the next article. No? Okay, we keep going. I am so late walking the dog. She'll be fine. She'll be fine. The BBC made the right decision to renew Doctor Who. The danger facing the BBC is that the increased financial pressure will lead to public service broadcasters' decline. No! What's led to the service broadcasters' decline is the service broadcasters' decline. Is their complete disdain and disgust for, I would say, the vast majority of the British public. Their audience, who they work for, right? Again, look at Justin Trudeau. Look how he views Canadians. Look at the disdain and disgust he has for them. It's filthy, right? And that's who they are, right? That's who these people who screamed about the wrong side of history have found themselves on the wrong side of history. And in order to stave off, they really need to focus on ensuring their biggest brands remained strong and stable. But you use your biggest brands to scream the propaganda that you wanted to scream, thinking your brands would sell your propaganda, but your propaganda destroyed your brands, right? That's what happened. And now you're going, oh, what do we do next, right? The BBC previously recognised Doctor Who as one of its super brands alongside Dancing with the Stars and Top Gear, which they also destroyed, right? Top Gear, okay, because demand is international in scale and tie-ins and transmedia investments. Believe me, how do you reckon merchandise is doing now? Character Options, who have held the license for action figures, have dropped the license, right? That's a sign not very well, right? Are all incredibly profitable. They were. It's telling Davies has already hinted his vision for Doctor Who Season 14 and beyond, and it seems to embrace the potential tie-ins transmedia to an unprecedented degree, which I'm really excited about. Like, he couldn't really... Big Finish nearly got cancelled in 2005, actually 2004. Mao Young. It's... What was it? What's it called? What's the name of that documentary series? Dr. Forever. I think Dr. Forever, about different transmedia stuff. And Russell T Davies in it talking about how Big Finish nearly got destroyed when 2005. The Mao Young was in charge, and somebody said, "What should we do about Big Finish?" And Mao Young's like, "What's Big Finish?" And they just had a huge political hot potato because they've gotten a ton of trouble for selling spin-off EastEnders audios or books. I don't even know, right? And Sophie said, "Oh, these are Doctor Who episodes people pay for." He'll be like, "No, red line from it, red line right through it." Rusty Davis said right there, really, really smartly. He said, "Oh, don't worry, Mel. I've got all this under control. Nothing to worry about at all." Right? That's how Big Finish stayed around. Yeah, for the last couple of years. I'm not sure if that was a great plan, but it seems to be coming back now. This month's been quite good. Regeneration is the key to Doctor Who's long-term future. I think they've got to regenerate the show completely, because it means change is literally written into the show's foundation. That is true. Every time the Doctor changes, the show can be reformatted and refreshed alongside its... I'm sure he's reusing an article that I read the other day. This sounds very familiar. Every time things are reformatted alongside starring time travel and smart marketing can draw audience in as though the brand is new. That's true. This arguably happened in Jodie Whittaker's debut episode One Foot Fell to Earth, with reported phenomenal viewing figures, even if the later episodes didn't maintain that order. Not the second episode didn't maintain it. And I'm sorry. People like you were very smug about those ratings, their Woman Who Fell to Earth ratings. And then all of a sudden, ratings aren't that important. Yeah, no. If you said it was important then, they're important now. I'm sorry. So yeah, but a good rebrand is always a good idea. Doctor's ability to regenerate means that TV series will never end because it can always make itself new again. Well, everything ends, mate. Everything ends. Everything ends. Although I don't I'm excited for its future, right? But maybe 200 years from now, like Sherlock Holmes, we'll have more Doctor Who. Wouldn't that be great? I think that's good. The decision BBC are making right now mean Doctor Who's future should be secure no matter what happens. Yes, well, that, again, because it's not to do with the BBC anymore. Davis's vision sounds bold enough to relaunch the show for years to come. I think it is. His return is accompanied by a co-production deal with Badwall Studios that is believed involves a substantial degree of co-financing, making Doctor Who more affordable for the BBC at a time when finance... It's nothing to do with the BBC! Okay, well, the time that finances are under substantial political threat. No, the threat they're under is from your utter, absolute hatred of the British public, right? That's the threat it's under. The last few years have been difficult for Doctor Who. Yes, you could say it's been pretty difficult for me as well. But listen, I don't know if my mental collapse was in any way to do with Doctor Who. I think not, but blimey, if it wasn't, I dodged a bullet on that one. It should have done. The last few years have been difficult, Doctor Who, but far from cancelling, the BBC has safeguarded its future. Not the BBC, Julie Gardner and Jane Tranter have safeguarded the future. Safeguarded the future from morons like this. Morons like this that absolutely destroyed Doctor Who. Oh, look at that. I am nearly 50 minutes. There's no chance we're looking at the other. Look, I'll show you the headline. I'll show you the headline so you can see what it was. Star Trek 4 has to leave the Kelvin timeline behind. It's the same article. Right? It's the same article, but about Star Trek. You know what? Sod it. I'm leaving Star Trek on the thumbnail. I don't feel like you've been gypped. You've seen the headline. That's about as much as I've seen. I skimmed through it. Go check it out for yourself. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop.